everyone, Patmaster 47 here, and welcome. Uh, welcome back to Titanic Week. Welcome to day 3, April, I think today's the 12th. Never good when you're doing your own, uh, time-based thing, and you don't remember what day it is exactly, but I gotta sneeze. Ow. Alright. Now I realize I've been doing this for about a week now. Today's our third day, and I realized my character's not properly dressed for the occasion, so I will switch that right now. I just did some browsing before I started there. We're gonna change our outfit to style. I think it's in outerwear is what I want to be looking for. There it is. My gentleman set. There we go. And I'm gonna switch the shoes real quick to probably just like plain black shoes. Day 3, yes. So, oh, I have my thing on. Volume's on. So we'll just get our black shoes on there. We'll look fancy. Headwear, do we have any, like, of the time hats? Or do we have, like, anything? Oh, what is that called? I just seen the crown. I'm just kind of curious what it's called. King Cube crown. Okay, I was wondering if they did it like a Technoblade kind of thing. They called it the Legend crown or something. Crown would be, I think, fitting. That's for sure. Do we have any? Probably gonna be looking longer than what it's worth. There's a top hat. I don't like how it sits like on the top of my head, which is kind of redundant considering it's a hat. Ooh, gloves. I could do like white gloves or something. Really look fancy. Possibly. I just get plain white gloves. No? Okay. Anyway, so we're now in our correct to the period attire, and welcome to day 3 of Titanic Week. So far, we've gone through Titanic's journey from leaving from Southampton, which is where we're at, to going to arriving at Cherbourg, going through picking up passengers at Queenstown, Ireland, and now we're at our first official day of just pure open ocean, which is a very interesting first time for everything, I guess. This was mostly a uneventful day, but there were a few minor things that happened here. Such as Titanic not having all 29 of her boilers lit. Titanic had 29 boilers. I think only 21 or so were operational, and she was already doing 21 knots, which it was the suspected top speed of the ship. So, which was quite impressive, and definitely sparked a few bets on board between like the rich and famous of what day Titanic might arrive. So yeah, the rich would place bets on what day they thought the Titanic would arrive in New York. Oop, we froze there. Um, by this point, all the crew and all that, they've settled into their duties pretty well, I'd say. Today is probably one of the more uneventful days of the voyage. I probably should put a thing there to mark out where all. I guess one of the most notable things happening on board would be Thomas Andrews, the designer of the ship. Here's a fun thing to witness: the elevators are off on my end; they're uneven between the. Which is a fun thing to I like to point out to people. Whoops. So Thomas Andrews, being the designer of Titanic, also being Irish, he does feel homesick quite a bit during this voyage, and so just to make him feel just a little bit better, Chief Baker Charles Yawkin, who has a fairly remarkable story when regarding to later events of Titanic's journey. He would have quite a remarkable story later on, but it is worthy to note that him and Andrews were likely pretty close. So what we're doing today for our tasks, if you will, for the episode, we are going to be, or what we're doing is I am ripping up taking out the quote-unquote carpet of the D-deck reception room here. And I will also be doing this for the first class dining salon when we get there. But one room at a time. Even though it's going to be a fairly monotonous episode today. But I knew I was going to have to do it at some point. Alright, so we're right above Scotland Road, which is the longest corridor on the ship. It's also one of the theorized possibilities. It's also theorized to have one of the biggest effects on Titanic during the sinking. As, if we go down here real quick, welcome to Scotland Road. Well, as it looks right now, of course. it is theorized that when the water was flooding up to here, up until this point, Titanic was listing to her starboard side, or her right side, if you will, because that's the side she hit the iceberg on, by about 5 degrees at most. To about less than that, of course, to maybe. And it's theorized when water got into this corridor right here, Scotland Road, as you guys can see, the water, it's a lot easier for it to have gone to the left than rather than flow up and into the boiler room access. I think I'm a lot further down, or I want to be a lot further down than what I think I am. So it eventually took a port list, or left side list, for those of you who don't know the difference. I always figure the difference because port had the same number of letters as the word left. My uncle taught me that one. He had a boat, and we went out on the lake one time, and I got to sail it one time. He taught me a lot of sailor stuff. It was actually quite a good time. I enjoyed it quite a lot. Had I know that would actually tell me when it came to learning about ships like Titanic, I would have appreciated it a little more at the time. Yeah, you let me steer the boat, sail it, if you will, even though it wasn't a sailboat. Anyway, so what time is it roughly? Okay, it is coming up on noon today. I wanted to do this episode during the day, as I've been doing the others close, like right before midnight. So I wanted to do this one during the day to hopefully catch all you viewers out there who would maybe want to watch this and haven't got a chance because of the time I would stream this. So we're doing one during the day. I'm going to try to do the rest during the day, although I don't know how that's going to go. As this week is spanning out to be a little more hectic for my family, with just a lot of stuff to do. And we're, yeah. So, coming in at noon, right about now for me, of course, being where I am, we're definitely a few hours off. But coming in at noon, ship time, of course, the Titanic would clock in around 488 miles that she traveled from Southampton to open ocean, or to where she is now. So that is a very cool detail I actually had to look up, because I wanted to make sure I got all the details for today, as I think me streaming at night, I've definitely missed a couple details. Big shout out to Titanic Honor and Glory for actually having this information so easily accessible through their YouTube channel. I definitely recommend checking them out. They're developing a game called Titanic Honor and Glory, where you can walk the halls of the Titanic during her voyage, and maybe when she's out Southampton. I don't actually know too much about the game myself. or I haven't seen much on it. I do know it isn't out quite yet, but they have an immense amount of detail, and I know for a fact I would love to play it on the channel, but that's never going to happen because my PC might blow up if I try to run it. Hello. So I know I said, or I already did a video a while back, and I just got recommended it because every time I click on my channel before I do these streams, I like to keep it up running in the background just in case someone posts a comment that's a little inappropriate, if you will, and I need to dispose of that comment, or if there's a comment that's too long for me to read. It helps a lot. And I know, see, I get recommended like 3 past streams I did, and the other day I got recommended for the quote-unquote finale of the Titanic interior build. I was like, yep, this is going to be the last one we're doing on the channel. And, well, here we are, Titanic week, still working on the interior. I do hope to be able to get this interior done by the end of this week. Okay, am I on the other side of that table? Yes, I am. Yeah, but I do hope to get the interior done during this week, because I would like to be able to copy and paste the ship to build another scene for it. Of course, I guess the next scene would be either I guess it would be the Cherbourg scene, or Titanic at Cherbourg. Oh, there's a space of oh, it's still wood that I would have never noticed unless I did this. So that's kind of a good thing I did. Yeah, I guess Cherbourg would be the next diorama to build. Like, if you guys don't know, the build I have around the Titanic at the moment is supposed to represent Titanic at Southampton, where she first departed. On April 10th. And I'd like to make one for each stop she made. So, the room is getting there, I guess. Hello! So yeah, if you guys don't want to miss a future episode of Titanic Week, we've got a lot of fun facts coming up, where we try to, well, I try to give the full story, to the best of my ability, of course. Of course, yeah, you get people read from a script when they do this. What? But, so, yeah, I hope this is a good learning experience for everybody. believe it or not, learned a thing or two myself throughout. Did I see that? No, I didn't see. Now, what block was that I just broke? I can check in a second. Okay. No, I didn't see anything. I haven't been home all morning. I was out about with the family. Good old eye exam. Those are always fun. And we're okay. Wow, this room looks you guys can see it looks record store and see if they have it. I don't have a local record store. I don't even know where they still would sell records like around here. Like really now I'm thinking about it because I don't even know anywhere around me that would sell records. Like really now that I'm thinking about it, because okay. Whoops, just broke that. Let me get something to drink here in a second. I'm feeling a bit thirsty right now, so I'm gonna have to go get a quick drink probably. I'm gonna finish removing the carpet in this room here, and then we'll go. I'll go get some drink real quick, and then come back, and we'll finish this hopefully. So I was able to so I was able to give my first quote-unquote tour of this world the other day. It was quite an interesting experience trying giving a tour of a Minecraft world. That is definitely a thing not a lot of people, I guess, have the opportunity to really do. So it was a very interesting experience, if I do say so myself. So, okay, is that all the carpet, or there's still I think I'm gonna do a different-ish block in the center here, just to mark a middle. I think I'm gonna use that terracotta here to mark it. Of course, terracotta being the block. I think we used that in first class. That was a creepy cave noise. Which is weird, we're not in a cave. So... I'm trying to think if there's anything else interesting to note about this day. I mean, it's relatively of this day of Titanic's journey. I mean, in reality, today was a very uneventful, real day in the voyage, other than being the first, like, full day they were out at sea. I can't really think of anything, like, else to worry about. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, guys, sorry about that. Grabbed myself had a good drink. Got myself a nice glass of grape juice, which not a lot of people I'm friends with, like IRL, are actually a really big fan of. I really enjoy grape juice myself. I don't know, what do you guys think about grape juice? I think it's pretty good. Like one of my top 5 favorite juices. Like, I know that whole, like, group, I'd have to say, like, we got probably like apple juice, and this is in no specific order. I'm just giving maybe a top 5. Maybe I'll rank them. Maybe one day we'll rank them. Go through all the juices. That'd make a fun, I think, a pretty interesting video. I'd have to say probably definitely orange juice is up there in that list. We'll go definitely grape juice is up there. Cranberry juice I actually really enjoy, which I know not a lot of people do, and I mean I kind of get it, but like I think it's I think it's pretty good myself. Something doesn't seem right about this. I don't know what it is. Like, I know it's not wrong, but I... That's what's wrong with it. Okay, took me a second to realize what the heck was happening here. So, what else? Let's see, what other juices are there? I feel like I'm forgetting one that's, like, really important. Oh, pear juice isn't bad. But see, that's an iffy one for me. Like, I like it, but it's like... I don't know, it's like a weird medium for me. Um, trying to think if there's any other, like, real big juices, I guess. I can't really think of any. Like, right at this moment, but I will, there's, like, one big one I'm forgetting. So it took me, took me forever. If you guys, watched the Viking episode of SpongeBob, and if you, you know, you know. Pretty much it's an episode where Mr. Krabs is doing like a promotion at the Krusty Krab for his new Viking-sized like stuff at the Krusty Krab, and he's really only doing because he cleaned out his attic and found this like cardboard Viking helmet he made when he was a kid. He's trying to pass off as a promotion. He's like, "Yes, we have small, medium, large, and Viking size." And SpongeBob, of course, is like, "Mr. Krabs, these are all the same size cups." And he's like, "Shh, no, they're not." They are, but anyway. And then SpongeBob wants to like learn more about the Vikings or something, and he's like, so he writes a letter to him. If you've seen SpongeBob, you guys definitely know what I'm talking about. But I'm just explaining it to those who may not have seen or may not watch SpongeBob on a regular basis, like I do. So so yeah, they're talking about the Vikings, and a bunch of Vikings actually come to the Krusty Krab and just start trashing the place. That like, we like to redecorate, and it's like a really stereotypical like Viking, like a Scandinavian accent, and it's actually kind of funny. Yeah, and it's a like probably I think it's a really good episode. Well, not my favorite, but I guess it's up there with one of my favorites. I know there are a few that a lot of people don't like that I'm like, yeah, this is a pretty good one. Alright, so what I'm doing here, I'm thinking of a better way to do this, and I'm doing lines here, so that hopefully this will be easier to hopefully this will be easier to I hope it'll be easier to line up. But yeah, so the reason I bring this up is I just found out the other day that the voice actor for the Vikings, I can't remember his name. It's the same guy who plays Darth Maul, and he either the same voice actor for him, or it's the guy who actually plays him in the first Star Wars movie. And I'm like, I just found out the other day. I'm like, well, that's kind of neat. So really, like, think about it. They got everybody for SpongeBob, like every celebrity cameo they could, which was a big thing they were against when they first started the show, because of the Simpsons, believe it or not. At least I think that was their reasoning behind it. They didn't want people to, like, when SpongeBob was a lesser known show with only like one season. So, so yeah, that was a real fun fact as a person who's a big fan of Star Wars. And wow, I wasn't even remotely close with my lineups of some of these blocks. Um, I guess I'll cut this episode at 12:30. I'm not trying to make I'm trying to make these more bite-sized streams. I'm not really trying to make these uh, long streams at all. I just want something, people can put in the background, maybe listen to if they want a little Titanic info. So, just a thing for Titanic enthusiasts, or people who may have an probably unhealthy obsession, which I mean, look no further than myself, but then I'm gonna I was up a little bit later last night. I'm just a little tired. I haven't been sleeping well recently, so I've just been trying to get whatever sleep I can, I guess. Man, I wish I was working at 3 instead of 2. Oh boy. Just for today, though, would be. But yeah, SpongeBob, they didn't want a lot of guest stars on there because they didn't want SpongeBob to be mistaken for Bart Simpson at first with all of the guest stars. So, I mean, now they don't care, but I guess what a different time we lived in back when SpongeBob was. I wouldn't say too nervous to have guest stars. I'd just say more cautious with guest stars. Now they don't care who they hire. Like they'll grab, I don't know, like they had Betty White for an episode. If you guys remember that. And what is the time? All right, so I got about a minute left. So oh, there is one more little information about the Titanic for today. I almost completely forgot. Um, Tonight, Captain Smith would be hosting a dinner in the first class dining room, a private dinner party where, the rich would attend, of course. Along with Bruce Ismay, the chairman of the White Star Line. By the way, if you guys haven't seen the last 2 episodes, uh, by all means go back and watch them because you'll get a lot more information from those as well. It's not just like one episode you'll get. But yeah, so they would host a dinner party, and then afterwards, Captain Smith would return to the bridge, being, more mindful of his duties. Whereas Bruce Ismay would invite the dinner guests back to his cabin, which he was in the stateroom B-52, 54, and 56, which would be Rose's stateroom in the movie Titanic. Which weird they gave Rose a occupied room rather than an empty one. You know, like even then they gave her is Bruce Ismay is a character in the movie. Like they didn't just give her some random passenger's room that isn't in the movie. They give him one the guy who is villainized in the movie for some of this stuff. I don't know. It's a weird thing. And they'd play bridge in his cabin till later in the evening. Which I can go up to the cabin real quick. I'm on C deck right now. D deck. At the moment. I actually have this stuff on the wrong side. So it'd be this stateroom right here. 52, 53, or 52, 54, and 56. So, cool little bit of information there. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for day 3 of our little Titanic week. Tomorrow's day 4. I think one of the 13th. One of the lesser known incidents happens tomorrow on the ship. So stay tuned for that. I do hope you all enjoyed. I've been your host, Pac-Man Master 47, and I'll see all of you. I'll stand at the grand staircase here, and I'll see all of you in the next episode. Bye bye!